The harsh reality. Life has a way of teaching us truths that are often painful but necessary for our growth. One of those truths is this. When you are at the bottom, when you are still struggling to build, when your victories are nowhere in sight, most people will not stand with you. They may smile at you in public, but in private, they doubt you. They may act polite, but their hearts whisper, "He won't make it. She won't succeed." And this is the reality Jack Ma was pointing to. No one is your friend until you win. As harsh as it sounds, it is not meant to break you. It is meant to awaken you. Think about your own journey. How many people have cheered for you when you were just starting? How many supported your dreams when they were only fragile ideas, unproven and uncertain? Very few. In fact, sometimes even those closest to you, the ones you expected to lift you up, become the loudest voices of doubt. They say things like, "Be realistic, stop dreaming, settle down." This can cut deep. It can make you feel abandoned, isolated, even betrayed. But what if I told you that this silence, this absence of support, is actually a blessing? What if the rejection you feel is life's way of teaching you self-reliance, of preparing you for greatness? The truth is, most people only respect results. They want to be associated with success, not struggle. They want to be seen with winners, not dreamers. It's not always because they hate you. Sometimes it's because they simply cannot see what you see. They cannot carry the vision that was planted in your heart, because it was never meant for them. It was meant for you alone. So when people walk away from you in your season of building, don't despair. See it for what it truly is, a test. A test of how much you really believe in yourself. A test of whether your dreams are strong enough to survive without applause. A test of whether you can wipe away. LK alone in darkness, trusting that the light will come. And here lies the awakening. The harsh reality is not meant to discourage you, but to sharpen you. It separates the ones who depend on external validation from those who are powered by inner conviction. If you can keep moving forward when no one claps, if you can keep believing when no one believes in you, if you can keep pushing when every door seems closed, then nothing can stop you when your breakthrough arrives. So don't be afraid of the silence around you. Don't be broken by the lack of friends in your struggle. The truth is, this stage is temporary. One day, the same people who ignored you will see you shine. And on that day, you'll understand. The harsh reality was not your enemy. It was your teacher. Why people turn away? When you are struggling, when your life is filled with setbacks and your dreams are still only whispers, you may notice something heartbreaking. People slowly begin to distance themselves. Friends you once thought would stand beside you fade away. Family members you hoped would encourage you instead question your choices. And strangers, they barely notice you exist. Why does this happen? Why do people turn away when you need them most? The truth is, most people are not drawn to the struggle. They are drawn to success. They are attracted to results, not effort. They want to be associated with certainty, not risk. And when you are still building, when your victories are not yet visible, all they see in you is uncertainty. To them, your dream looks like a gamble, and very few are willing to bet on something they cannot see. It's not always because people are cruel or malicious. In fact, sometimes it's simply human nature. Most people are afraid of failure, and when they see you chasing something bold, it reminds them of their own fears, their own abandoned dreams. Instead of supporting you, they project their doubts onto you. They say, "It won't work, don't waste your time, be practical." What they are really saying is, "I was too afraid to try, so I can't imagine you succeeding." This can feel like betrayal, but it's actually a hidden gift, because in these moments of rejection, you are forced to rely on yourself. You are forced to strengthen your vision, to dig deeper into your purpose, and to keep moving even without applause. This is how resilience is born. You see, if everyone believed in you from the start, you would never know the depth of your own conviction. If the crowd was always cheering, you might lean on their voices instead of your own inner strength. But when they walk away, when you are left standing alone, that is when you truly disgust over what you are made of. This stage of abandonment is like a spiritual filter. It reveals who is truly with you and who is only with your success. Those who leave were never meant to carry your dream with you. And those who stay, those rare few who believe in you even when the world laughs, are the ones who deserve to walk with you to the finish line. So don't be angry when people turn away. Don't waste energy chasing their approval or begging for their support. Understand the truth. They cannot see your vision because it was not given to them. It was given to you. And the fact that others don't believe in it does not make it any less real. One day when your dream becomes reality, the same people who turned away will come back. Some will celebrate you. Some will claim they always knew you could do it. And others will simply stand in silent awe. But by then, you'll have learned the greatest lesson. Their belief was never required for your success. The gift of loneliness. Loneliness is one of the hardest experiences for the human heart to endure. When you're in the middle of chasing your dreams, when you're giving everything you have but the world refuses to notice, it can feel unbearable to walk alone. Friends fade, support disappears, silence surrounds you, and you begin to wonder, why am I doing this if no one even cares? But here's the awakening. Loneliness is not a curse, it is a gift. It may not feel like it in the moment, but it is in this very space of isolation that the strongest souls are born. When no one is clapping for you, you learn to clap for yourself. When no one believes in you, you learn to believe without proof. When no one walks beside you, you learn to walk by faith, not by sight. And that, right there, is where greatness begins. Think about the strongest leaders, inventors, and visionaries in history. Their journey was not lined with applause. In their early days, they were mocked, doubted, and ignored. They worked in silence, in solitude, carrying only a vision that burned within them. Loneliness was their training ground. It stripped them of illusions, tested their patience, and forced them to anchor themselves to their purpose. Without loneliness, they would not have discovered their true strength. Loneliness also gives you clarity. When you are surrounded by noise, by opinions, by constant chatter, it is easy to lose yourself in the expectations of others. But in solitude, you hear something far more important, the voice of your own soul. You begin to reconnect with your inner wisdom, your intuition, your higher calling. You realize that while others may walk away, you were never truly alone, because the universe, God, or whatever higher power you believe in, is still walking with you. And here is another truth. Loneliness reveals the difference between those who are temporary and those who are eternal in your life. When you lose everything, when you have no status, no recognition, no success, those who remain are the ones who truly love you for who you are. Everyone else was only there for what you could give them. Loneliness exposes false friends, so that when your victory arrives, you know exactly who deserves to stand beside you. So instead of fearing loneliness, embrace it. Let it become your teacher. Let it purify your motives and strengthen your resolve. Understand that this season will not last forever. It is only a chapter, not the whole story. And when your time of breakthrough comes, you will look back at the nights of solitude and realize they were not wasted. They were shaping you, preparing you, and carving you into the person capable of carrying the success you were destined for. Loneliness is not the end of the journey, it is the sacred beginning. It is the fire in which champions are forged, and if you can endure it, if you can embrace it, one day you will stand in your victory and say, "Thank you, loneliness. You made me who I am today." The power of inner belief. If there is one thing that separates those who succeed from those who give up, it is not money, it is not luck, and it is not connections. It is belief. Not the shallow belief that crumbles when life gets hard, but the unshakable inner belief that keeps burning even when the world goes dark. Jack Ma once said, "Today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine." Most people never make it to the sunshine because they lose faith in the storm. They let doubt consume them. They listen to the voices of fear, of critics, of people who couldn't see beyond their own limitations. But the rare ones, the visionaries, keep believing when there is no evidence. That's the power of inner belief. When you believe in yourself truly and deeply, you create energy where none exists. You move mountains that others thought were impossible. You keep waking up early, working late, fighting through rejection because you know in your heart that your dream is real, even if no one else can see it yet. Inner belief is spiritual fuel. It is the invisible force that sustains you when logic says, quit. It is the whisper that says, keep going. And here is the truth. Life will test you. It will strip you of comfort, surround you with doubt, and push you to the edge. Not to destroy you, but to ask you one simple question. Do you really believe? If your belief is shallow, you will give up. But if your belief is rooted deep within your soul, you will rise again and again, no matter how many times you fall. That's why every rejection, every closed door, every failure is not the end. It is an opportunity to prove to yourself and to life that your belief is unbreakable. Think about this. Every breakthrough in history began with someone's inner belief. Airplanes, electricity, the internet, medicine, all of it was once considered impossible. People laughed at those who dared to dream, but their belief was stronger than the laughter. Their faith outlasted the mockery. And because they held on, the impossible became possible. Now look at your own life. What dream is burning inside you? What vision refuses to die no matter how much doubt surrounds it? That dream is waiting for your belief. Because belief is the seed of manifestation. Without it, nothing grows. With it, everything is possible. And here's the most beautiful part. When you believe in yourself, you no longer need validation. You no longer beg for approval. You no longer fear rejection. You move with quiet confidence because you know your destiny is not determined by the opinions of others. It is determined by the strength of your own conviction. So guard your belief. Feed it daily with action, with persistence, with courage. Because when you believe in yourself fully, you step into alignment with the universe. And in that alignment, doors will open, opportunities will appear, and the very things you once dreamed of will become your reality. Success reveals true faces. There is something fascinating about success. It does not just change your life, it changes the way people see you. When you are struggling, when you are unknown, people ignore you. They doubt you. Some even laugh at you. But the moment you succeed, the masks begin to fall, and the true faces of people around you are revealed. At first, you'll notice people who once dismissed you suddenly act as if they've known your greatness all along. They'll say things like, "I always knew you had it in you," even though their silence or criticism once told a different story. Success has a way of rewriting people's memories, at least in their own minds. Then there are those who once ignored your calls, rejected your invitations, or mocked your dreams. The moment you win, they'll come running back, eager to be associated with your shine. But here's the truth, they didn't believe in you. They believed in your results. And that's a dangerous kind of loyalty. Loyalty that depends on your achievements, not your essence. On the other side, success will also reveal the silent enemies in your life. Some will congratulate you with their lips, while their hearts burn with jealousy. Others will try to undermine your journey, to find flaws in your victories, because your success threatens their comfort zone. You'll begin to see that not everyone who claps is genuinely happy for you. Some clap just loud enough to hide their envy. But this revelation is not meant to discourage you. It is meant to liberate you. Because once you see people for who they truly are, you no longer waste energy on the wrong ones. Success acts as a filter. It separates the genuine from the fake, the loyal from the opportunistic, the real supporters from the fair-weather friends. And here lies a spiritual truth. Success does not change people. It only exposes them. The way someone treats you when who have nothing is the truest reflection of their heart. If they stood by you in the storm, they deserve to stand with you in the sunshine. If they left when times were dark, let them stay in the shadows when your light appears. So when success comes, and it will, watch carefully. Take note of who celebrates with pure joy and who celebrates with hidden resentment. Pay attention to who comes back only when you're winning. And most importantly, never let the new attention blind you. Because real love, real friendship, and real loyalty are not measured in applause during victory, but in quiet support during struggle. And here's the ultimate lesson. Your success will attract many faces, but not all of them are meant to walk with you into the future. Some are lessons, some are distractions, and only a few are blessings. Treasure those few. Hold them close. Because in a world where most people only love winners, the ones who loved you before you won are the rarest treasures you will ever find. Winning for yourself. After all the struggles, the loneliness, the doubt, and the battles, there comes a question you must ask yourself. Who am I really doing this for? Because if your journey is built only on proving people wrong, then your victory will feel empty. True fulfillment comes when you realize that the greatest reason to win is not to silence your critics, but to honor yourself. Winning for yourself means recognizing that your dream was given to you for a reason. It was not handed to your friends, your family, or your neighbors. It was entrusted to you. And because it is yours, no one else has the responsibility or the right to define it. You owe it to yourself to chase it with everything you have, not because others are watching, but because your soul demands it. Think about it. When you are working in the dark, when no one is clapping, when no one believes, the only thing that keeps you moving forward is your inner fire. That fire doesn't burn for the doubters. It doesn't burn for the people who abandoned you. It burns for you, for the person you are becoming, for the life you are creating, for the destiny you are fulfilling. Winning for yourself is powerful because it frees you from the prison of approval. When you win for others, you will always feel like you have to prove something. But when you win for yourself, you don't need permission. You don't need validation. You are no longer chained to anyone's expectations. Your victories become pure expressions of your purpose, not responses to other people's doubts. This shift changes everything. Suddenly, setbacks no longer crush you because your motivation isn't tied to applause. Rejections no longer paralyze you because your worth isn't measured by their yes. Loneliness no longer frightens you because your journey isn't about how many people walk beside you. It's about how true you remain to yourself. And here's the beauty. When you win for yourself, everyone else still benefits. Your success inspires others. Your courage gives others permission to chase their own dreams. Your resilience becomes a light for those still trapped in fear. But all of that is the overflow, the byproduct. The foundation remains unshakable. You did it because you believed, because you refused to give up, because you honored the dream within you. Jack Ma's brutal truth that no one is your friend until you win is not meant to make you bitter. It's meant to awaken you to this. Your first responsibility is not to prove the world wrong, but to prove yourself right. The real victory is not when others finally clap for you. The real victory is when you can look in the mirror and say, I kept going. I believed. I overcame. I won for me. So remember this. Let your success be a gift you give to yourself. Not a performance for others. Not a weapon against doubters. But a celebration of the strength, faith, and courage that carried you through. Because at the end of the journey, the most important person who needs to respect you, love you, and believe in you is you. As we come to the end of this journey, let us pause and reflect on the brutal truth that Jack Ma revealed. No one is your friend until you win. At first, these words may sound harsh, even discouraging. But if you've walked with me through this message, you now see that hidden within this truth is a deeper awakening, a call to strength, to resilience, and to self-belief. Life is not fair, and it was never promised to be. People will doubt you, ignore you, or even walk away from you when you are still building. Friends may disappear, support may vanish, and you may feel abandoned in your darkest hours. But here is the blessing hidden in the pain. It is in those very moments of loneliness that you are shaped into the person capable of carrying success. Without the silence, you would never learn to hear your own voice. Without the rejection, you would never learn to stand on your own 2 feet. And when you finally rise, when your vision becomes reality, everything shifts. Suddenly, the same people who once ignored you will return. Some will celebrate you, some will envy you, and some will pretend they never doubted you at all. But by then, you will know the truth. Success doesn't change people, it only reveals them. It shows you who was genuine, who was false, and who was never meant to walk with you at all. But here's the most important lesson of all. You must never chase success just to silence others. If your only reason for winning is to prove them wrong, then even your victory will feel hollow. The greatest triumph is not when the world finally claps. It is when you can look in the mirror and say, I did it. I believed in myself. I honored my dream. This is why you must win for yourself. Not for their approval, not for their recognition, but for your own soul. Because deep down, you were not created to live a life of limitation or fear. You were created to rise, to to inspire and to lead. And the only way to fulfill that destiny is to trust the fire within you, even when no one else can see it. So the next time you feel abandoned, the next time you feel ignored, remember this truth. Their silence is not the end. It is your training ground. Their doubt is not your enemy. It is your sharpening tool. Their absence is not your defeat. It is your preparation. And when your time comes, you will rise not with bitterness, but with wisdom. In the end, Jack Ma's brutal truth is not about despair. It is about awakening. Awakening to the power of self-belief, awakening to the gift of loneliness, awakening to the strength of inner conviction. Because once you realize that your greatest friend, your greatest supporter, and your greatest believer must be you, then no betrayal, no rejection, and no silence can ever stop you. Win for yourself, believe for yourself, live for yourself. And when you do, the world will eventually catch up to the greatness you always carried inside.